Another shocking investigation underway. Veterans' health records simply shredded or hidden by government employees unable to work to keep up with the workload. Let's go to our Pentagon correspondent, Chris Lawrence. Chris, how could this happen?
Well, Wolf, this investigation found a Veterans Affairs Department overworked, undermanned, and using technology that's way out of date. What you end up with is some workers doing anything just to keep up and reduce their own paperwork.
Veterans fight for their country and are injured in war. They never expected their medical forms to end up in someone's shredder. It started with an audit at the Detroit office of the Veterans Benefits Administration.
At the suggestion of a VBA employee, we took a look in the shred bins and found claim-related documents.
The Inspector General's office testified before Congress Tuesday on what happened next. The VA suspended all shredding, and inspectors kept looking. They found hundreds of claim forms in more than 40 regional offices, but have no idea how many more were destroyed.
In fact, I note that the shred bins we looked in had been emptied fairly recently and contained only about 14 days' worth of documents.
If VA's files were all electronic, the shredding incident could have been avoided.
Records will be scanned into computers, but the paperless system is at the earliest still a year away. The VA also found some offices were so overworked they held mail amnesty periods, basically where employees could turn in all the mail they had been hoarding in boxes and desk drawers with no penalty.
I think it's similar to, the library that has an amnesty program for your overdue books.
At one amnesty, employees turned in 16,000 pieces of mail. 16,000. One Marine wounded in Iraq says troops are told these same medical records are cherished when they sign up.
But when we get out of the military, it's frustrating to know that when we hand those records off to the VA, to the same government that has taught us how documents are, and it may seem or give the perception that they don't treat them with the same amount of scrutiny that they did when we were in the military, that can be a little overwhelming to service members and sort of make them lose a little bit of heart.
Yeah, the VA has implemented a tougher policy, so right now 2 people have to examine every document before it's shredded. They're doing an internal review to see if that's going to work, and they expect to have that done by the end of the month.
We'll see what happens. All right, thanks very much. Chris Lawrence is at the Pentagon.